What's good, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Now, listen, I had a different video for you guys. I had actually a quiz that I took earlier today, an F1 quiz going over the 2024 season. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I got a 33%. I think it's like 10 questions. Now, listen, some questions I didn't know. Like, there was some I just didn't know. Most of them I didn't know. But there was some I'm like, dude, like I was overthinking it. But if you guys do want to see that, let me know. I do have it on my like storage to upload. But it's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. 33%. Going over this past season. I'm washed. Absolutely washed. But in the meanwhile, today we are finna check out the tragic end of James Hoodoo, who does have like an F1 movie about him. Shout out to F1 driver. All credit goes to him. Big time now. This is our first F1 video of 2025. Chat, give it up. Give it up. Now listen, I'm gonna be more hands-on with like the upload stuff like that. I know like the last month or two was kind of like erratic. Like at times it'd be every other day, and at times I'm gone for like 3 or 4 days. So I'm gonna be more better with the uploads for you guys. I know you guys. You know, you guys do want to see me. You guys do want to see your boy. You know, it's the polls are fine, but we are trying to see you, Chaz. We are trying to see you. Now, anyway, we are finna check out. We are finna see what's on. As always, don't forget to like the video, sub as well, boys and girls. Let's get it.
Today, we'll take a deep dive into the life and career of one of the most charismatic and controversial figures in the history of Formula One, James Hunt. With his charming personality and daring driving style, Hunt captured the hearts of millions of fans worldwide during the 1970s, becoming one of the most iconic drivers of his generation. James Hunt was known not only for his racing talent, flamboyant personality, and controversial lifestyle.
Bro just seemed like he had woman left and right. Hey, hey, what you gotta do? Hey, but it seemed like he just had the ladies, man. Look at him. You know, blonde hair. No, sir, I'm not attracted to that. I'm good. I prefer the ladies. But, you know, you can see why, you know, women were, you know, we're going to. And plus, you know, he's a hell of a F1 driver. So, like, you know what time he was on. Like, you know, every time he raced, he's going to compete. And 9 times out of 10, he was probably going to finish
James ended up
very
broke
high.
after winning his maiden F1 title. To understand how this all happened, let's take a look at his career on and off track. James Hunt began his racing career in the late 1960s, and it wasn't long before the F1 community noticed him. He made his F1 debut in 1973, driving for the Hesketh team. Despite their lack of resources, James managed to secure a few podium finishes, proving himself to be a force to be reckoned with on the track. He was rivals with F1 legend Niki Lauda, who regarded him highly and battled him numerous times throughout their career. The duo respected each other's fighting spirit and never gave an inch in their fight for the win. James Hunt's off-track lifestyle was as controversial as his racing style. He was known for his love of parties, women, and drugs. He was often seen smoking and drinking in public, and he wasn't shy about his personal beliefs. He was known for his outspokenness and wasn't afraid.
Hey, bro's just living life. No, listen, I know like back then they had a lot more like lesser rules in regards to like what you could do outside of F1 stuff like that. But I mean, who's gonna check him? Who's gonna tell him no, you can't do that? Who's gonna be like, James, sit down, get right? Nobody, nobody. So guess what? James Hunt did what James Hunt did.
Afraid to speak his mind on any topic. His larger-than-life personality made him a target for criticism from some quarters, but he remained unfazed, living life on his own terms. Niki played quite a part in James's life, even as far back as his Formula 3 days. Niki managed to save James from being arrested during that time period.
Dang.
James and his mechanic used to sleep in their van at the circuit, and the circuit was closed in the evening. However, locking the circuit never stopped James from going out at night to have fun, so he used to break the lock to go out. In doing so, someone saw him doing that and called the police to arrest James the following day. Niki managed to intervene, saying, "Are you nuts? He's racing with me. Don't put him behind
Dang,
bars."
somebody
In the
snitch.
end, he managed to convince the
That's
authorities that his
crazy.
actions weren't of ill intent and that he should be let
damn.
off. Nicky once
Now
said,
my boy snitch.
"I knew him before we met at Formula One. We always crossed each other's lines. He was a competitive guy and he was very quick. In many ways, we were the same. I had a lot of respect for him on the circuit. He was a very solid driver." Niki Lauda. This is a direct quote from Nicky. James raced for McLaren from 1976 to 1978, during which he won his one and only championship. He won 6 out of the 16 races, narrowly beating his fierce rival Niki Lauda to the title. James was known for his fearless racing style and was willing to push his car to the limit to achieve victory. James famously drove that McLaren in the season's final race in extremely wet conditions without a gear lever, which caused his hands to bleed, but he powered on to win the title. After failing to complete the 1979 Monaco Grand Prix, where he'd made his debut 6 years before, Hunt stated to the press on June 8, 1979, announcing his immediate retirement from F1 competition, citing his championship status, and was replaced by future world champion Keke Rosberg.
Okay.
In fact, Hunt had been struggling with financial problems throughout most of 1978 and 1979. His career earnings were estimated at $750,000 in
That's a lot,
1977 and $1 million in 1978.
So it seemed like his fun cost him at the end. Because who knows how much money he was spending going out on like drugs and women and partying, doing whatever. It seemed like that kind of did catch up to him. It kind of sucks because James Hunt, F1 champion, a very good driver during the 70s. But for him to just suddenly retire like that, it's kind of unfortunate. It's kind of unfortunate. Like, I guess you could say he's kind of like a what if to a degree. Like, what if he raced for a few more years longer? Could he have gotten another one? But it just seemed like, man, he just couldn't keep, off the track lifestyle, man.
However, reports in 2009 indicated that his estate was worth less than $150,000 at the time of his passing. His downfall was due to his obsessive need for speed, which got him into lots of trouble with the law and destroyed his marriage. His last race was in Japan in 1986, and he retired with 2 races still to run. But Hunt wasn't permitted to drive for another team so he could make money for his creditors. He had made a comeback after he recovered from being broke. Hunt put himself in a tricky personal situation after retiring. Hunt opened a restaurant in London called Jimmy's Café de Paris. The restaurant failed miserably and was closed within a year. He had invested in a company that unfortunately collapsed, leaving him broke. This, coupled with his drinking addiction, nearly ended him. When Hunt was in the deepest depths of despair, he was contacted by Nicky and asked to meet with him. He turned up at a cheap restaurant on a bicycle with no air in its tires, looking completely finished, as Nicky describes him. He had long hair and dirty clothes. Looking at his condition, Nicky said, "Are you nuts? You'll kill yourself like this." In that meeting, Nicky promised to support him, provided he did something about his addiction and come back. He had to meet with James once again for the same reason, after which James got a hold of things and turned his situation around. Due to the help of his friend and rival Nicky, he managed to get out of his unfortunate situation. James became clean and commented on races in good shape for the BBC for the last 3 years of his life. He was as fit as he'd ever been, said Nicky in an interview with Graham Bessinger. James and Nicky climbed the motorsports ladder together, and in an interview Nicky said, "When he won the championship half a point ahead of me, I told him that I'm glad it's you and not the rest."
That's a real one.
Sadly, James Hunt's life was cut short when he passed away in 1993 at the age of 45 from a heart attack. He called his doctor in the middle of the night complaining about chest pain. The doctor told him just to lie down and sleep, but that chest pain resulted in a heart attack which took his life. Niki Lauda felt great emotional pain after rescuing a friend who was in a state of extreme sadness, only to learn later that the friend could have been saved if the doctor had responded to his call promptly. Niki Lauda remembers him as a dear friend who was taken too soon, but lived life to the fullest. Nevertheless, his legacy as a Formula One world champion.
I need to watch that movie. And rest in peace, Nikki Lauda, too. Nikki's a real one, man. Looking out for James, trying to make sure he's good. But it just seemed like a strong time. James just couldn't keep the street life, you could say. He just couldn't separate that and F1, just focus solely on F1. Because, I mean, you have restaurants, just dying. Bro had, companies failing. Like, you can see what he was trying to do, trying to invest his money into things that could work. But at the end of the day, it just didn't. And that sucks for James. But do have a very interesting, fun life, you could say. It just sucks. It ended like that. Rest in peace, James Hunt. You guys let me know you guys thoughts about James Hunt in the comments down below, man. He is a jeez. Obviously, hope you guys do enjoy the video. Don't forget to like the video and sub as well. As always, take care. Stay amazing. Be great. See you guys soon. Peace.